Men of this country aren't treated as men. They're treated as kids. Fake niceness. And plus, what's with the word nice? You have iciness, so is it icy? What is all this passive aggression? Then the word passive or reasonable for this word, this passive aggressive word, goodbye. It can be used as decently, therefore, as if for proper regular persons tend to use it constant or proper always better of, or proper properly of, then therefore it's proven when the terrorists started using it will be always nice, reasonable, proper, always proper as well. The amount of thieves at this country are tremendous. You see, mass mafia again that rests on the equality policy, they will be erased. Suppose Hitler too came here, they will be erased. They wanted war and represent of Churchill, Truman, Roosevelt, Stalin. Won't give them war. Right on the cross of Jesus. Well, it's fair and also reasonable. There might be contradiction there, but perhaps it's the Nazis' ways that contradict, especially to us. The reason for proper also there are the contaminate elements of a reasonable proper also. It's a reasonable proper also not the elements of reasonable proper also. The proper for score master based on reasonable proper of golems, reasonable for proper humans. The most foul country on this planet doesn't operate as a country. It doesn't exhibit the feature of a country. It's sort of a giant shopping mall. So it's a Las Vegas place. Las Vegas, more hideous than it tends to be. Also, the operators at Las Vegas or probably some high chief masters or reasonable proper certain CEOs may underestimate the amount of chance there will be. The place would be foul if, with the illustration and doesn't learn Mandarin, it's not therefore Mandarin something so foreign or impossible to learn that a person attempt. The proper person would attempt to learn multiple languages, such as how sort of the hands would heard about how cows moo. Reason for proper, why not there be a bit splash onto if it's not as if it's that much different. Reason therefore probably consider of not so much of a criticism to a proper than a description of this all these generic language itself. All of the words are used by a mass amount of legality. These outnumber our guys by major amount. Our guys being dampened against. Also, the inflicted common persons be targeted with probably inflicted increased flaws or probably cause certain flaws with them. While the zombicists, they're expanding numbers, reasonable probably expanded at numbers of virtually unstopped, treated with more better treatment. But whether the result landed to some level, sort of another topic. And plus, they're number based. So if it's not supposed to be super quality from those, even if they were proper reasonable for proper obtain certain quality result thereof. Reasonable proper obtain certain level of reasonable proper level of result. The massive amount of passive aggressive form that's again that's mark out again simply jeer or ridicule, and therefore it's sort of again then they have all these death markers. Then shouldn't it be simply reasonable proper logical to promote a lot of the gains, because that would dislodge the amount of passive aggressive gain. By removing violence, one enables passive aggressive violence. Keep violence, you stupid fuck. So stupid. Stupidity causes toxic or reasonable proper also level of toxic reasonable proper or toxic level of stupendous. We have government officials that doesn't study, don't know what to do. Instead, does this substitute. It's definitely there are high numbers of those because there are mass amount of these elected peasants. What do peasants know? It doesn't even have the quality. Those are sort. It's already something of natural for there to be. So how could it be proper? If it is proper, then the sort of is something to be fixed onto it. The Nazis keep insisting bit against the forces of nature. So stuff is predetermined. they're going to result to similar to this minority report where they struggle, find out they're going to be arrested, but because they're doing, does it cause it to happen? And that's how the story sort of happened. Probably perfectly describes ongoing, and especially probably also sort of magically or probably reason for where the title minority report came reason therefore probably comes from. The country against all countries sort of doesn't operate as country. It's just America place. What an insane name. It's spelled like America. Females are freaks. It's going to be criticized, or you mentioned females are freaks. No. It's Hitler too mentioned this. There's a difference when terrorists mimicry is. Too many Nazis out there. When our guys start holding rifles at streets with casual clothing, all of a sudden some freak out and judged upon by the Nazis, should it be, or reasonable bubble by quote-mark citizens, should it be judged at least by their representatives? The lunatics. Mass amount of crazy with quote-mark people. Probably also more than masses amount. Times 1,000, times reasonable bubble, times 10 by 10, that's 100. 10 by 10, 100. Times that by 10. 10, times that by another 10, 100, times that by 10, nearly or a million, times that by 10, 10 million, times that by 10, 100 million, not even close to 7 billion yet. World War II, in a way, wasn't, the masses even has had some sort of casualties. They were given paychecks. They were given Volkswagens to participate in this war, and yet later on they rebelled to the very person that gifted to them. To today, these lie and distort them. The mass amount of anti-Hitlerists, with or without Hitler's ghost personally vanquished with them. They want to receive the tribunal status. You can get a ticket to attend proper heaven transport service. And many cities across Europe, from Milan to Paris, from Berlin to London to Glasgow, there will be major warfares there to occur. Also comments. Churchill may not be here to give his judgment. Suppose he was here, he will be more pissed and probably throw his cup of wine across his stash of papers and recent football onto the walls, whipped into a rage mode. That then he finally becomes the bulldog he resembles to. Reason there of probable latest reaction of probable also a bit of an option. America doesn't operate as a country. It doesn't has a sort of media the full set. It sort of doesn't have much of. Instead, it's instead of the penalization. A while, it's probably been waiting for certain criticism to them of. The enableness of this criticism probably being selected by fate. Reason therefore probably also sort of, where does this noticing the stuff are sort of a will battle? Where does someone have reason probably has a greater will? Then they're probably more right. Sort of the something that's defaultly going to respect it to. That's the plan to go as it comes from probably for certain exterior forces. It's not the other ways to go. In particular, probably on because of our logic, on reasonable probably on advanced logic level of it would yield reasonable probable or find out reasonable probable or also continue for reasonable probable. Also, because there will be villains that got to the level that forces others reasonable probable also ransom, threaten, kidnap, reasonable probable ransom, threaten, hijack of. For the innocent, or probably mildly more, probably more of innocent, to act as attackers along the way. So then to follow who is more attacking, then reasonable for probable, other than by sort of this under-mentioned or probably this will force, reasonable probable, by reason of, then there wouldn't be. Probably more of a proper result of that in particular, reasonable probable, particular how numerous persons respect that. So if someone shows more will, it's going to happen. And the stuff probably cannot be forced of. There might be some peculiarness thereof. That's as vuch mentioned on, probably regarded to as there that topic. Mass amount of crazy maniacs resides at Vermania, regional pub, and this American region. Suppose someone travel to New York in rush hour, take a peek, especially probably at this year of also recent years, they will notice how hideous the mass amount of these consumers utterly are. They are economic locus gain. Suppose without the elements, or suppose without the education, wouldn't they simply be trafficking humans, starting their slave camps of wild ruthless? The users are foremost dangerous because they enable almost the same abilities, but also additional accesses from the initial set of receivature of initial set of gifts. Recent zero for at first or at first of initial set of gifts and recent zero for that of recent for gifts of a while it doesn't have to retain sort of the training. Projectable how hideous, how much more level reasonable for also how much more level of hideous those would be to any sort of monstrous bad politician that earned their reason to for did a steady learnings. Defaultly, there will be at least have certain principles, unlike this erratic spasm slimes that are slimes. Reason for utterly resembles to slimes with much of electedness. Recent of there also other descriptions of powerful sort of recent there for powerful or also other description. This America not so much of a country, it's being one of the places that went after Adolf Hitler. The mass amount of the gen set the culture level to such a negativity, also to set it to the social norm, reason to contaminate the social norms to where it's decent to counter towards Hitler. Right now, anyone that's different from them are tackled against. You kids are nerds, as if usually when these uses moderate words, but although it incurs foremost inflictions of recent therefore powerful also, or powerful of recent of, or powerful recent or powerful also, or powerful of. So for the word nerds tagged to Yu-Gi-Oh card players, recent powerful to Yu-Gi-Oh players, then it will become subject to set of punishments. Or while I guess if they mention similar words or perhaps also recent for powerful or identical words of, then it will become. It doesn't result to certain of these issues. But the Nazis would start with the insolence, criminality, reason for powerful anti-criminality, using the police protection they have. Notice in these recent of they have. Notice recent of they have. They possess of powerful of recent of powerful suitable recent of powerful also recent of powerful or powerful. Notice in mass money consumer that they visit shopping malls. Those obtain many reasonable treasures. How come they don't carry this staticness? That's sort of what these hideous, dishonest entities are. Reason of powerful ways of our guys doesn't know what consumers are, or powerful reason of also their hideous abilities, reason of powerful unability, reason of powerful also their inflictions, reason of powerful also. Reason for powerful also their reason there for powerful their spells also abilities. Reason their powerful or their abilities also spells them. Reason there for powerful also unspells of reason thereof or powerful or also reason from there for reason to for powerful or also or of reason thereof for powerful also reason thereof or powerful or